All right, YouTube, this is 2cent back with my 2 cents on OCTOPATH TRAVELER, and we've talked and hinted at a couple times about getting Hasumi. We should be seeing her on Wednesday, so here we're going to talk about whether or not I think you should pull for her and kind of give you the rundown. That way you can kind of decide for yourself there. So hit that sub button and let's get into it. All right, so first let's just look at Hasumi's stats. We're going to have a pretty decent SP at 502, some decent speed at 317, but obviously what you're looking at here is you see attack at 230 and magic at 417. Definitely a unit that we're going to be prioritizing more of the magical elements of, whether that is the DPS element from which she is light, or utilizing the heals, which are actually scaling off of magic instead of magic defense in case you played the original game. So let's look at her skills now. All right, so as always, the things highlighted in orange are just the things I really want to, of course, highlight out to you guys. So that full front row heal there, the front row defense and magic defense up, and then we have a full front row SP regen up to 5% max HP SP per turn. That, obviously something that we don't have on anybody, so very cool to have here. Their heals casted are 20% stronger, and then when you're hit by attack, you have a 25% chance to gain 1 BP, max 1 BP per turn. So that's pretty neat when we're looking at the, kind of getting our buffs out there. It's 2 to 5 turns based off of your boost level, so this could help bring that those boost levels up. So I like this kit. I think it's really kind of nice. Also to note in here, we do have at least some light AoE, and then we have 3 times fan and 3 times light. Note the fan 3 times is random target, but the light is a single target there, so it's a lot easier to pinpoint who you want. So let's move on to some comparisons between this dancer and 2 of the other 5-star dancers that we already have out. And I did talk about this a little bit in my previous video that was on a tier list for dancers. So if you haven't checked that out, I'll link that at the end of this one so you guys can go take a look there. All right, so typically we kind of compare some stats and we kind of say, oh, well, who has a better attack, yada, 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 yada. I think all 3 of these units are a lot more, buffing or healing oriented. And so, yeah, like maybe their magic stat matters or, something like that. But when it comes down to it, I think the skills are what's really going to be important and the difference maker between these 3 units. We're definitely going to have Hasumi, who's going to be our light user, is going to carry the light element out of the 3. Lynette's going to obviously be fire. And then Primrose has this kind of dark. Lynette has that attack and magic up to the front row, and Primrose has the attack and defense up to the front row. So you can see like all of their kind of front buffs are just a little bit different, yet can have some overlap between the attacks in the defense there. So you have to kind of keep that in account, into your head of who you might want to pair well together. So in case you already have these units, that you're not overlapping buffs that are just kind of doing nothing. You want to kind of get the most that you can out of this. So we also have their initial passives here. That Primrose also has a speed up, attack, a magic, and speed up that I think is really neat. And then the passive from Lynette, which is a full front row 10% attack and magic up. I know I said passive before I talked about Primrose, but that is just her 5-star. So let's put that in there before somebody destroys me in the comments, which is okay. If I say something wrong, destroy me in the comments. I deserve it. It's great. That's fine. So this is kind of going to be our little comparison between the dancers. However, I've seen some other comparisons of people talking about how Hasumi might be a complete just kind of upgrade to another character we have. So let's take a look at that. And that character is Millard, who is, well, one of our, clerics. So we got a staff user. So obviously there's a difference there. But if you look here, I kind of have some things color-coded that I'll have to explain. But if it is in that gold highlight there, that gold color text, that means that it is, essentially the exact same ability for both of these units. So they share 4 things in common there, which, isn't a whole heck of a lot, but it's still, more than what you might have for a lot of units. They kind of share that light element. They share being able to, heal the front row, in that their heals are 20% stronger. So that's fine and all. So the ones that are highlighted in green, this is kind of like, they're very similar. For example, Hasumi has the fan attack that inflicts magic down for 2 turns. whereas Millard has 1 staff attack that inflicts 15% attack down for 2 turns. And then we have Hasumi with the full front row 15% defense and magic defense up, versus Millard with the just 15% magic defense up. So, but it is a lower SP cost for him since he doesn't have the defense part of it. Do these characters, is she a straight upgrade from him? I don't think so. I'm not sure I really agree with that sentiment. I do think maybe overall she's kind of got 3 times light, which he's lacking over there, and they both share the light AoE, so he doesn't really have an advantage there. Besides, he's got a second one that's stronger. She also has access to 3 times fan, where he doesn't get access to 3 times staff. So yeah, maybe in a way, but I think most of the time you're going to be utilizing these two as kind of your front row healers, and as well as some buffing. And Hasumi is going to be better in a combat that's going to need both physical and magical defense ups, or at least just physical defense up, where Millard won't be able to provide that to the full front row like she can. Alright, so here's the hard question. Should you pull? So, overall, yeah, I'll kind of tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not going to put 300 rubies per pull on this banner for Hasumi. And I don't have either Lynette or Primrose. And mostly that for that is because I also do not have Scarecrow. And there's also rumor that he is going to be coming on a step-up banner with Theo. And what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to save my pulls for the step-up to try to get Scarecrow. I think both Hasumi and Scarecrow are going to be great units for the upcoming arena. And it's going to be kind of hard for me to say which one's necessarily better. But if I had to kind of give a leaning edge for my team, I think Scarecrow would be a little bit better. You know, you don't get the kind of healing that you're going to be able to get from Hasumi. So if you might need a little more healing on your team, maybe you do want to lean towards this banner rather than the step up. But one thing I just really like is that the step up is so much more you know, ruby efficient versus the regular banner. And I look at it like, hey, you know what? We got Primrose and now we have Hasumi, which just means that it's that much quicker before they're going to enter the kind of main pool, and then I'll kind of be able to get to pull them to have a 5-star, because, you know, I already have the chance for Lynette and then Primrose, and then Hasumi will eventually get entered into that as well. And so when I think of that sort of thing, you know, Scarecrow step up on, you know, being, you know, cheaper. I already have Theo. Having some extra awakenings on him would be useful. It'd be nice to have. I don't, you know, I think I have 1 awakening out there right now, and it's on Fior, and you know, it'd be nice to strengthen the units I already have. So that's basically what I'm saying, is that it's going to be a really hard decision, and you're really going to have to base it on your team, how much you care about making sure you can get to this arena quickly or the most efficiently with the teams. But she's a good unit. She is good. If you don't have Primrose or Lynette, and you know, go ahead for it. You know, if you already have Scarecrow and you just want to be able to add in to kind of really double down on this arena, sure, go for it. But I wanted to tell you my thoughts on why I'm not going to. That way you kind of can evaluate your own self and say, hey, you know what, maybe it would be better to do the step up rather than going for this unit currently. So anyway, that's been my 2 cents.